Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Hannah Caldwell, and if you've found this page, it's probably because you are either a real estate agent, you have interest in becoming a real estate agent, you are a mom looking at career options, or a mom just trying to navigate the world of being a working parent. I decided to put together this channel for everybody that maybe was like me just a couple years ago when I was lost and confused and didn't know what I was doing with my life, to be honest. And somebody pointed me in this direction, and there was a lot of slips and there was a lot of falls and mistakes that I'm hoping that I can help prevent you from experiencing by providing you the information that I wish that I had. So again, my name is Hannah, real estate agent in beautiful Eugene, Oregon, and the surrounding areas. If you do have clients that are thinking of moving to Eugene, I will happily pay you a referral fee and help them to the best of my ability. But let's get into the video, and I just want to give you a background about how I got into real estate, who I am, and how real estate plays the role it does in my life. So I guess I'll start by saying that I did the whole thing. I went to college, I got a degree, I did the things. My degree is in international studies. And then after I graduated from college, I did some traveling. After that, I jumped, and maybe this is the same for you, and probably because I have ADHD, but I jumped professions every year from the time that I graduated college until I found real estate. So let's see, that included nonprofit work, which was at least kind of in line with international studies, but it included nonprofit work, it included veterinary medicine, it included a lot of food service, it included wealth management, travel agent, you name it, and I dabbler. And then COVID hit. And I think that we all kind of got a big slap in the face about what was going on. And especially for me, right as COVID was hitting, I was getting a couple more slaps in the face as life would have it. Like I mentioned, I have ADHD. So COVID was an especially great time to hyper focus on new interests. And my biggest hyper focus during the beginning of COVID became real estate investing. I was 25 and I found out about Bigger Pockets. If you're not familiar, it's a community and platform for real estate investors, and I dove in head first, and I was watching YouTube videos every second of the day in my little home office that I had to create, and I was researching all of the things real estate investing, and I was like, I'm gonna buy a duplex for my first house, and I'm gonna start investing in real estate, and I'm gonna buy a property every year. And I had all of these at the time, what seemed like really big goals for myself that I was super hyper focused on during COVID. So I started doing that. I started going through the process, figuring out how I could acquire a property. I started working with a real estate agent, and unfortunately that experience went pretty poorly. It just wasn't a good fit, that real estate agent and I. But luckily, the lender that I was working with pointed me in the direction of another real estate agent. She was a peer. She was on the younger side for being a real estate agent. And when I went in to sit down with her, I was very poignant about what I wanted because I'd had this experience with this agent that went so poorly. So I'd done my research. I knew what I wanted. I knew what my buy box was. And so she kind of was taken aback. She was like, whoa, you actually know a lot more than normal first time home buyers or what have you. And I was like, well, yeah, here was my experience. Let me tell you. But anyway, she made a comment in our very first meeting sitting down together. She was like, I don't know why you're not in real estate. And I totally blew her off, and I was like, haha, that's funny. You're cute. Whatever. It's not for me. I'm a travel agent in the middle of COVID. Ended up buying a duplex with her, which was a great purchase. We still own the duplex. I still actually really love that property, but she planted that seed. And as COVID continued, obviously being a travel agent became worse and worse and worse. And so I thought, why the heck not? I will go give it a try. So I did the courses, I did the education, I took the test, and I became a real estate agent. That was January of 2021. And I haven't looked back. Maybe I've looked back a couple times. Let's be real. If you're a real estate agent and you haven't contemplated quitting real estate at least a couple of times, then I don't know who you are or what you're doing, but give me all your tips and tricks. But anyway, so that means that if I started in January of 2021, I am starting right now, this month, my 5th year in real estate. Since then, I have done it all. I've tried different lead generation techniques. I have been at multiple brokerages. I have had high years. I've had low years. I've had great income. I've had difficult clients. I've had incredible clients. I've had so many different experiences. And that is the thing about real estate, is that like you are always learning, and there is never a day in real estate that is like exactly the same, right? Like there is something new happening all the time. There's something new to learn, especially in the last year or so. There's been lots of changes to learn. And yeah, still here, still kicking. So hopefully my goal is that I will be able to bring that experience to you in your real estate and parenthood journey. So I guess a little bit more about my family and what my family looks like, because I think that that makes a big difference in real estate agents and like how you run your real estate business. And also I think that like I might be fairly unique in where I'm at and how my family operates in comparison to a lot of real estate agents. So my husband, Mason, and I got married in 2021. So lots of things were happening in 2021. Can you tell? So we got married in 2021. We now have a 2.5-year-old and another baby on the way. And so that's our core family. We have now 2 investment properties. So the duplex that I previously mentioned, and another single family house that we lived in for a year. And then we moved in with my father-in-law because he is ill. So we provide care for him and live with him. And my husband, basically since the time my first kiddo was born, maybe a couple months after he was born, has been a stay-at-home dad. So my husband, I mean, he is a musician. He has a degree in percussion performance. That's what he does. So he does teach percussion a little bit here and there, but not as like a full-time job. So his full-time job, that we call it, is being a stay-at-home parent of a very active small boy. And then my full-time job is to be a real estate agent. So I am the sole income provider for my family. And that strongly impacts how I operate my real estate business, the pieces and parts that come along with being a real estate agent, like the fact that you do your commission only base so that you have inconsistent income, the variable hours, the fact that you're essentially self-employed, so you don't have the backing of a company and benefits and things like you would have if you were working a 9-to-5. All of these things have a much greater impact on my family because I am the sole income provider. I don't have a husband that's working at a W-2 company where he gets benefits and we're on his health insurance. We don't have a 401k. We have to, save for retirement separately. We have to consider a lot of different things, especially in the variability of income, and making sure that we have reserves on hand, and if something major were to happen, that we would be okay. You let me know if you are the sole income provider of your household in a heteronormative couple. I would love to hear about it, because at least in my market and among my peers and my friends in real estate, that is pretty uncommon. I'm going to give an even bigger shout out to like single mothers that are real estate agents, because you're incredible. Like, it's hard enough as is being like the sole income provider for my family, but like having essentially permanent childcare, I just couldn't imagine. So that's my story, basically. 5 years in real estate, and that is how my household works right now. And so I'm super excited to dive into how we stay afloat, if you can call it that. And we're going to look on this channel about how it impacts our day-to-day lives, how it impacts my kiddo, what it is to be a working mom, different lead generation strategies that afford you more opportunities with your children, and all the things. So I'm super excited for you to be here. I'm super excited to get this channel off the ground, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.